Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. This is going to be bringing you guys some Chimera combos. This is post Age of Overlord. So first I'm going to start with the one card combo that I think you guys should know if you've never played with this deck. It's definitely a one card combo you would want to know. So here we're going to get started by normal summoning Mirror Swords Knight. We're going to use this effect here in order to special summon out Baphomet. So we're going to use Baphomet's effect here in order to search out 2 cards, and that's the amazing thing about this card is that it's able to search out a level 4 beast monster and 1 Chimera fusion spell. So we're going to be using that here, search both of these out. Use Chimera fusion in order to fusion summon into Chimera the Phantom Beast King. Then we can activate both Baphomet's effect and Gazelle the King of Mythical Claws. And then we can use Chimera's effect as well. And Chimera here is just going to make it so that during our opponent's turn, during the end phase, we're going to be making it so our opponent has to discard a card randomly. So here we're going to get Mirror Swords Knight out, search out the Cornfield Kodo. And then during the end phase, we can just send that down. And yeah, so here we're going to see that we're going to be able to use something like Mirror Swords Knight. That's the great thing about his effect, is that you can activate it during either player's turn. So we're going to be using it here. Get ourselves another Baphomet. Activate his effect, search out another card. Another 2 cards. Then we can use Chimera Fusion here, go into Guardian Chimera. Add ourselves our Gazelle the King of Mythical Claws into the board and the Kodo. So that's using the effects of Baphomet here. If this card is sent to graveyard's material, you can target 1 illusion monster in your graveyard, so we'll summon it out. So we can do something like that pretty easily. Get ourselves another Chimera Fusion. So that's just a great way of doing that. And just so you guys know, we could have also done this combo using Kodo. Kodo here, if we're discarding this card, we can add a monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand, except for this card. So we could add our Mirror Swords Knight, and then from there continue to play as usual. Just so you guys know, that one card combo is pretty simple to do even with this card. So let's go to the next combo. Okay guys, so here's a one card combo using the new support. So here we're going to use Branded Fusion. We're going to activate Branded Fusion here. Send our Fallen Valbas and our Gazelle the King of Mythical Claws. So here we can get Rinbrum. That's the only way you're going to be able to send Gazelle the King of Mythical Claws, is that we need to run Rinbrum in the deck in order to do so. Then we can use Gazelle the Mythical Claws, and as you guys saw with the last combo, once we have Kodo in our hand, then we're good to go. We can do our standard combo. So we can use Kodo here, get Mirror Swords Knight, activate his effect. In order to get ourselves our Baphomet, activate Baphomet, search out 2 cards. Then we can use our Chimera Fusion, go into Chimera the King of Phantom Beast. Then use the effect, use Baphomet's effect as well in order to get Mirror Swords Knight back onto the board, and use him so that we have to discard a card during the end phase. We have to make our opponent discard a card during their end phase. And then we can activate Chimera Fusion once again. So that's the good thing about Chimera Fusion, and why I said I run 2 copies of this card. It's pretty easy to recycle it, so I'm going to use Chimera Fusion's effect, add it back to my hand, then activate it once again. Get myself here Baphomet, the Mythical King of Phantom Beast. So this is a new monster, the new extra deck monster for the deck. And with this card, it's going to let you pitch a Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monster from your deck to your grave. So we're going to be using that in order to pitch Tri-Brigade Kit. Activate Kit's effect here, send Nerval, and then we can use Nerval's effect here in order to add ourselves our Mercury. So that's just a good way of adding ourselves another negate in the form of Tri-Brigade Mercury. It's a monster negate as long as you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen Valbas. And of course we have Rinbrum the Striking Dragon that mentions Fallen Valbas here. So we can actually use this monster effect in order to negate something pretty easily. And yeah, it's a simple one card combo, but it's a good way of using the new support. It does mean that you're going to have to run those 2 Tri-Brigade monsters if you do want to do so. That's why I ran it in the side deck for the deck profile. It was just a combo to let you guys know, for you guys to consider. But let's go to the next combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so with this combo I'm going to be showing you a pretty similar line to as I did with the last combo, but here we're not going to get out the new fusion monster. I'm just going to be showing you what other route you could be using with Branded Fusion. So we're going to use Branded Fusion here, get Rinbrum just like we did before, use Kodo here, add ourselves our Mirror Swords Knight, use the effect once again, get ourselves Baphomet. Baphomet's effect will search out our 2 fusion material in the form of a Gazelle, and then Chimera Fusion. Then we can fusion summon here, get our Chimera, the King of Phantom Beast, get ourselves a Mirror Swords Knight, use Chimera Fusion's effect, add it back to our hand, and then set our Chimera Fusion So pretty easily here. Sometimes you just want to end with the Mirror Sword Knight because during your opponent's turn you could just tribute it to add 2 more cards. So it's a good way of just filling up your hand with a bunch of materials, and especially if you're trying to get up a Guardian Chimera, that could be a good way of getting another monster here to use. So here I'm going to be using Mirror Swords Knight's effect in order to use it as a monster effect negate. So we're going to negate that monster effect, and then use Chimera Fusion, go into Magnum the Reliever. Then with Magnum the Reliever's effect, we can banish one of our fusion cards in order to destroy one of our opponent's monsters. So you can see it's a good way of getting a bunch of interactions out of one card. So a lot of negates and a lot of destruction that you can do just with a simple 1-card combo. But let's go to the next combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, here's a 2-card combo that I have for you. So this is going to be a combo that shows you how Guardian Chimera is going to be used in your deck. And it just gives you a better idea of the way the deck is going to be played, because Guardian Chimera is such an integral part of the deck that you're going to be getting out a lot. So I think this gives it a bit of justice here. So we're going to be normal summoning out Yugioh, the Kingdom of the Claws, in order to get our Chimera Fusion. Then we can add ourselves our Polymerization Edge and Chain. Then we can Fusion Summon into our Chimera the Phantom Beast. So you already know with the effects here, we're going to be using its effects, search out the Codal. Then we can use Chimera the King of Phantom Beast to make your opponent discard the end phase. Then here we can add ourselves the Chimera Fusion back to our hand. Then we can get ourselves Magnum the Reliever. Then you can see it's a pretty simple setup, but we have, like, as you can see, not too much going on here, but we do have enough where you're going to see we're going to build on this. As during our opponent's turn, we can actually use Chimera the Phantom Beast King's effect here in order to bring out the Mirror Sword Knight. Then we can activate Sword Knight's effect, get Berfomet, add our 2 materials back to our hand here, or add 2 cards to our hand from the deck. Then we can use Chimera Fusion. So here we're going to use 1 monster on the board and 2 cards in our hand in order to let us draw 2 cards using Guardian Chimera and pop a card on the field. Then a bunch of effects are going to trigger here, add ourselves a card to our hand, and then special summon out an illusion monster. Then we draw the 2 cards through Guardian Chimera. Then because we have a fusion card in our grave, we can actually banish it and destroy a card here. So it's a good way of showing you that just the way Guardian Chimera is going to interact with the deck and how it's going to refill your hand while also disrupting your opponent's board. But let's go to the final combo that I have for you guys. Okay guys, so this is the final combo that I have for you. This is using Branded Fusion and Mirror Sword Knight. So this is a lock that you're able to do here. We're going to normal summon out our Mirror Sword Knight, then get our Berfomet. Then we can use Berfomet's effect here, add ourselves our 2 cards. So by now you guys have already seen enough combos where you know what these cards should do by now. So now we're going to get the new fusion monster here in the form of Berfomet, the Mythical King of Phantom Beast. So we're going to trigger both of our monsters' effects in the graves here. Special summon a monster on the board and then search out a card. Chimera Fusion will let us add it back to our hand. Get ourselves another Mirror Sword Knight. So it's just great because you want to see Codal in the grave just in case your opponent tries to target something. You do have Codal here. So that's the reason I did this. And Mirror Swords Knight is just great either way since that is your 1-card combo. Then we're going to get Fusion Summon out Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. So as I said in the deck profile, we're going to be sending Effect Veiler and Albus in order to do so. And then during the standby phase, we are going to, since we used our fusion monster Berfomet here in order to send the deity Orthros, we're going to send Orthros, special summon Orthros on our opponent's side of the field. And then get ourselves our Berfomet. So Berfomet's effect here is going to activate. And deity Orthros here, if this card is special summoned to your field, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for Fiend type monsters. And because it is summoned to our opponent's side of the field, they're going to be locked out of summoning anything except for Fiend monsters. So it's going to be really annoying and very difficult for them to play through. And so now once Orthros is in our opponent's side of the field, they're not able to summon any monsters except for Fiend monsters. And for a lot of decks, they're obviously not going to be running Fiend monsters. So that's going to suck for them. And essentially make it so that they're not going to be able to play. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.